Assalamu alaikum. This is Dr. Ghulam Muhyiddin, and our today's lecture is about the consumption possibilities. In last two lectures, we discussed the concept of production possibility frontier, and now we are moving to a new concept of consumption possibilities. Consumption possibilities or the consumption possibility means what is the maximum limit or the frontier to the consumption choices of a consumer, that how much he or she can consume depending upon his available budget and the prices of the goods and services which he or she wants to consume. The concept of consumption possibilities is elaborated using the budget line. So the budget line is a line or the curve that describes the maximum limits to the consumption choices which are available to a consumer depending upon consumer's budget and the prices of the goods and services he or she wants to consume. So now we elaborate this concept using some example. We assume that the Mr. John has the budget of $4 a day to spend on two commodities or the two products which are the bottled water and the chewing gums. And the prices of these commodities are the fixed. The price of water is $1 a bottle, and the price of chewing gum is the 50 cents per pack. Now, look this concept graphically. The figure 1 shows the John's consumption possibilities. We assume that he has $4 a day to spend on the two commodities. Let's assume that he spends all of his budget on on the consumption of chewing gums, the packs of chewing gums. How much he can purchase the packs of chewing gum using the $4, which is the maximum budget for his daily consumption. So if he has the $4, he can either purchase or consume 8 packs of chewing gums, or he can consume 4 bottles of the water. So the point A shows that he can either consume 8 packs of the bubble gum, and point E shows that he can purchase the 4 bottles of the water using all of his budget of the $4. But there are the different combinations which are also available for him. For instance, at the point B, he can consume 6 packs of the chewing gums and 1 bottle of water. Or at point C, he can consume the 4 packs of the chewing gum and 2 bottles of the water. Similarly, at point D, he can consume 2 packs of the chewing gum and the 3 bottles of the water. So these all points A, B, C, D, and E are the points are the maximum limits. These are the bundles, these are the consumption choices which are available to him depending upon that the consumer budget and the prices of the commodities remains same. So combining these all points, we get the budget line of the Mr. John. So combining point A, B, C, D, and E, we get the budget line. He can spend either of the combination available to him for the consumption. What does the budget line shows? You must remember that under production possibility frontier concept, we discussed that the production possibility frontier shows the efficient point of production, and some other concepts are also elaborated using the production possibility frontier. Similarly, the consumption possibility curve or the budget line also a frontier between the affordable and non-affordable points of the consumption. That what is affordable and what is unaffordable. It separates the two type of the combination of the consumption choices which are available to Mr. John. For instance, the shaded area under the curve, all the points below the curve or on the curve are affordable to Mr. John that he can consume. And all the points beyond this budget lines are the unaffordable for Mr. John. So now we will discuss about how the budget line changes. What are the factors which changes the budget line? In last example, last slide, we assume that the budget of the consumer, which is the $4 for Mr. John per day, is the fixed. Now we assume that the budget of the consumer changes. For instance, we assume that Mr. John's budget is declined to $2. Now he has the $2 a day to spend on two commodities. What will happen to his budget line? Previously, he was able to purchase 8 packs of the chewing gum using the budget of $4. Now he is able to purchase only the 4 packs of bubble gum or the chewing gum using the budget of the $2. Similarly, previously he was able to purchase the 4 bottles of the water. Now he is able to purchase the 2 bottles of the water. So what happened to the budget line? If the if the income or the budget of the consumer declines, the budget line shift leftwards. And but it is the important to note that the slope of the budget line doesn't changes because the price haven't changes. Now assume that what happens if the budget of the consumer is increased. For instance, we assume that now the Mr. John has the budget of $6. His budget line now shifted rightwards, but the slope of the budget line is constant, the similar as that of the previous. Because the slope of the budget line depends on the prices, which we'll discuss in the next slides. So what will happen if the prices of the commodities or the products or the goods and services which a consumer wants to purchase changes? For instance, we assume that if the price of one good rises when the price of other goods and the budget remains the same, what will happen to the budget line? Now the consumption possibility shrinks. The, and on the other hand, if the prices of the good fall when the prices of other goods and the budget line remains the same, now the consumption possibilities expands for the consumer. So now we look at this graphically. Here we assume that the price of water, which was previously $1 a bottle, now it declines to 50 cents a bottle. What will happen? Now the budget line rotates outwards and become less steeper. Now the slope of the budget line changes because the price of water bottle changes. Now he can consume either 8 packs of the chewing gum or the 8 bottles of the water. So his the consumption choices or the consumption possibility expands. And what happens if the price increases? Again, on the initial budget line, the price of water was the $1 a bottle, and when the water price rises from $1 to $2, the budget line rotates inwards, and now the consumption possibilities reduces or shrinks. So the prices and the slope of the budget line are interrelated. The slope of the budget line depends on the prices. You have just seen that when the prices of the one good changes and the prices of other good remains the same and the budget is also same. What happens to the budget line? Only the slope of the budget line changes. So we can say that the slope equals rise over run. And this is all about today's lecture. Thank you very much for listening. Please like this video, subscribe the channel and press the bell icon. Thank you very much.